Myself, but it's my great honor to introduce to you today Colonel Frazier.
Hello, what a wonderful day. Welcome everybody. Well, Josh said it right. I'm a World War II veteran. I was in the Philippine Islands when the war started. And we fought the Japanese Army, 14th Army for 4 months, kept them from going to Australia, and they captured us. We won, but we lost. They captured us, and that created what we now know as the Bataan Death March. Yeah, I'm one of those. And I'm one of the people that actually cares about our country. Let me tell you, the feeling that I had when I came under the Golden Gate Bridge and returned to the United States of America is unbelievable. Also, the feeling I had when I walked down the trail on the second morning of the march, the Bataan Death March, and looked up at our flagpole where our flag flew and saw the Japanese flag flying. It nearly took my breath. I didn't know whether I could make it or not. And I knew if I fell, I would be killed. I'm one that spent 3.5 years in slave labor camps. I know what slavery is. I've been there. I know what losing your freedom is. I've been there. And neither one of them a pleasure to experience. And I know when I lost my freedom and this march started, that our Constitution was no longer applied to us. Everything that we were going to have for food or water or to survive had to come from a nation that hated us. The people that hated us. People that fought us for 4 months. And little did we know what was ahead of us. We had no way of knowing how these people even talked or spoke. And if I had known on that day of the march what was ahead of me, I would have held down and taken a bullet or a bayonet. And I can't express to you how much, for 3.5 years, I was denied the freedom that the Constitution of America offered me when I was born. And I'm here today because I see things, and I have for quite a while, that I do not like. I see things that our government is doing to us that I do not like. They're little by little chipping away at our freedom. Little by little, they're taking away our liberties. I would have the privilege of going to Washington, D.C. and living for 8 years in Washington in 1952. And I look back at that time and think about that was some of the last years that I think our country functioned as sort of like we had intended for it to. Ever since then, we've had people that wanted to come to our country looking for what we had. But the minute some of them got here, they wanted to change it. They wanted to make changes. They wanted to make changes that were not to the best interest of our Constitution. And I'm sick and tired of hearing people saying it depends, the Constitution depends on how you interpret it. Let me tell you, it was written in black and white and has lasted for 230-something years and has done us well. It brought us Americans from nothing to the best nation in the world, the most advanced nation in the world. And America went out and was proud of going to all these other countries and giving up time and effort and helping them. And a lot of it, most of it, was taxpayers' money. Nobody complained because we were helping people. And those very people that we helped now are hating us because we don't give them more. They're not pleased. And then there came a time at the 9/11 that we know nobody will forget. It was a wake-up call, but it seemed like at that time nobody wanted to wake up. But I'll tell you, I think now that we've wakened a great giant, the same as we did in World War II. A Japanese admiral said, "You woke up a monster." And that's what we have if we hang together and be Americans. I don't know how many of you are not Americans, and really don't. If you're here, you should be. I don't have anything against immigrants coming to this country and trying to make a better life for them and their family. I don't mind those people. We've had a history of immigrants coming from all over the world seeking refuge, freedom of religion, freedom to work. But if all they're coming here for is to change our way of life, when we have one of the best in the world, I'm against it. And I'm asking every one of you to think real hard. And I'm asking you to think about what I've said as my experience of what I have lived through. I don't know what you'd have to do if we all had to live through that. I'll tell you who did live through something like that, and that was the Filipino people. And you go to the Philippines today, and if you're American, they'll just hug your neck 60-something years later. So it must be something that we have in our Constitution and our rights and what we're doing that makes us good Americans. And I resent any time that anybody tries to change that. And I also resent it when they say that you have to go to the opinions or what their opinion is of the Constitution. I don't like that. I told a political gentleman that I know real well that we was going down the wrong direction, and take serious your citizenship. Take serious what you intend to do. I'm 85 years old, and I could quit right now and go sit on the beach. I could do several things. But I chose to dedicate myself to this movement, and I will work 7/7. 24/7, I mean, anytime, because I love my country. And I hate to see my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, have to be burdened with such a debt as we have before us right now. Now, you know, if we hadn't have got our jobs sent off overseas, we'd have plenty of people working. But they sent them off, and there are ways to get them back. And that could be in this movement that we're talking about. We're talking about everything that's good for America and Americans, not good for special interest. We are bombarded with special interest. And we have, if you're coming out today, and I wanted to issue that message, and I know Pete's coming and will explain a lot more about our movement, but I wanted to tell you why I got in it at my age, so that you could think seriously about what you're going to do. And if each one of you would get 2, 3, 10, whatever people that you talk to and bring them into this movement, we have got to move on, and we've got to organize, and that's what we plan to do for all Americans. We plan to go across the country. We already have some things that Pete will bring up, everything, and all I want to do is thank you for just listening to me, what I had to say, and thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.